Welcome back, everyone, to Citizens of the Frontier. We're trying something new today. This is going to be entitled Proving Grounds OP-4 Report Number 1. OP-4 stands for Opposition Force. This is going to be a semi-regular segment on the Patreon page, but for our first time, we're putting it out live on, well, we're putting it out for, publicly on YouTube, so everyone can kind of see what they will be getting. So let's go over where and what the investigators, well, the players have been up to. And let's see how this will work. Okay, so this is where the players chose as their landing site, ignoring the plateau and the clearing. As if you watch the first session, you'll realize this was the smartest of the two locations. It was also furthest away from the perimeter of the zone of operations. This is the path they've traveled, intending to get to cut the perimeter in half, and then do a complete circuit halfway between of the lake and start a patrol. Now, they've only been traveling for about half a day, making good time despite all of their anxieties about the the Dralosite members' slow speed. Here is where they had an encounter with Destrooms, delayed them a little bit of damage, no fatalities. They handled themselves fairly well for their first encounter, real battle as a team. And this is where their tracking alarm went off, signaling that they are within 5 kilometers of the prisoner, of the person they're hoping to rescue, who is, give me 1 second. Zengunutel, the wife of Pelgresh Teldeshi. So they are within 5 kilometers. They stopped to get their bearings. Most of the group wasn't aware that they even had a tracker. And then within moments of the tracker going off, it went silent, meaning it was silenced at the source. So at this point, the opposition knows that that a signal has been sent, that their location definitely is compromised in some fashion. They don't know what the range of this tracker is. They don't know how far away the OP-4 is, and they certainly don't know how far, or how close or how far. But they made some. The players were incredibly lucky, and here's why. This is the map where everything is. The players are here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 south of that X. 1, 2, 3, 4 south of that X. So they are literally about 4 kilometers northeast of the camp. The camp is located right here. Had they gone for either of these two sites, they would have been much further away. But miraculously, they made very good time towards the location, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyway, here, roughly. Okay, so OP-4. Now, OP-4 consists of a team of 5 Yuzarians. 2 of them are actually expert hunters and trackers. They are stationed 6 kilometers south, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about a kilometer apart. So I would have placed them probably here and here. They have binoculars. They have radiochronochromes that keep in touch with each other. They are elevated in the trees, keeping watch. There's actually a herd of herbivores in this area. They were waiting to see if the herbivores started moving or bellowing, which would indicate someone was coming from this direction. Now, that was their guess. Their guess was that the players would pick the plateau and then start in, disturb these herbivores, give them warning. And these guys were cocky. So, 1 second. Their names. They're a male and female Yuzarian. They are named Shanza Enpei and Isan Chu. Isan Chua. They are both professional hunters. They are armed with capture weapons. One has an electric sword and some throwing discs. Oh no, that's someone else. Yeah, one has a needler rifle with anesthetic. One has a stun stick. They're fairly skilled, and they have Tangler grenades, Doze grenades. They were going to act as a capture team. They were hoping to pick the adventurers off 1 or 2 at a time as they came into the kill zone, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which we hoped would be somewhere in this zone. Okay, so let's talk about the enemy base. Now, there are actually 6 Yuzarians here. Well, let me strike that. There are 2 Yuzarians here. There is the 3rd Yuzarian is in the field, and they're actually on a patrol within 1 kilometer outside, moving around high tree level, hoping to spot people coming in. Now, the players are currently about here, so they're outside of 1, 2, 3, 4. They're actually outside of this patrol zone. They don't know it yet, but they're about 1 to 2 kilometers away from possibly tripping, 2 kilometers away from possibly running into this sole patrolling Yuzarian. This sole patrolling Yuzarian is a female, and she is an expert in hand-to-hand combat. Depending on who she spots, her plan was to try and stop them, definitely warn the camp of the impending approach, and take out 1 or more of the opposing team members. She was basically running defense, but if she could, put a stop to this, that would be fine. Her primary patrol zone would be this zone here, in case the opposition landed at B and came around the lake this way, or in the unlikely event they landed at A and were approaching and avoiding the screen to the south. Luckily, the players approached and we ended the session just outside of her patrol zone. Now, back at the base are 5 Yuzarians. 2 are the crew of this small starship. and they will not be participating in the combat whatsoever. They're only here to support the team. There is also a Yazarian doctor. She is here also to support the team and will not be taking part in any of the combat. In fact, she's probably rooting against her own team because she's quite fond of her sister-in-law. They were friends growing up, and is hoping that Pelgras's team can save her and put an end to this silly feud, but she's honor bound not to interfere. Her husband is the clan war chief, and he is stationed here in or around the main platform. Here is where his sister is being held on this platform. He is an expert gunfighter. He is the last line of defense. He will not leave this area, especially once the alarm has been tripped. And guess what? When the tracker went off, the alarm was tripped. At this point, we have the two Yazarian hunters frantically rushing back to the platform. Unfortunately, even with their glide ability giving them a bit of a boost in movement rate, it may take them an hour to return, an hour or more to return. I'll have to check Yazarian movement rate, hourly kilometers, give them a slight advantage because they're going to be gliding through the canopy and moving at a brisk pace, but they're likely going to arrive quite late to the party because they're 6 kilometers away. So that may, even with a boost, there may be more than an hour away. Now, the patrol person here, they're stepping up their patrols. They're on high alert, but they're not coming back to the platform. By now, the clan chief and the gunfighter are on high alert. The clan chief is probably roaming around, peeking out where everyone is. And the gunfighter is on high alert near the prisoner, making sure to run blocker. So the players are doing quite well. They've gotten quite close to opposition. They've avoided detection. They're almost right on top of their objective. And because of their approach, they've drawn out, their opposition is way far more spread out than they'd like to be, about to face an impending attack. They're still quite confident, maybe overconfident, because they are on their own terrain. They're in a dark forest. They're in the tree canopy. These are definitely grounds that favor Yazarians. And they're fairly sure that their opposition won't have many Yazarian members because there aren't many Yazarians on Solar Minor. So that's where we are. Now, the next session will definitely involve the conflict here at the base. And that will decide whether or not the players succeed in their objective or not. At this point, their chances look pretty good because they may be facing this platform with a 5 to 3 advantage. Well, a 3 to 5, 5 to 3 advantage. Now, what is this, pray tell? That is something we'll have to deal with eventually. But that's not for this OP-4 report. So we have quite the exciting session set up for next session. That's going to be in a few days. If all goes well, it will be Wednesday night, December 23rd, the day before Christmas Eve. So it looks pretty good that we're going to get that out. Some things may happen, people may be pulled away, but we shall see. So that's OP-4, report number 1 for Proving Ground. OP-4s will be filmed, well, I'll be filming OP-4 reports between every session to give our viewers a little bit of a peek behind the keeper screen, so to speak, the game master screen, and let you know a little bit in advance what the players are up against, so you can, have that anticipation to see how they're going to resolve things. So that's where we are. We hope to see everyone there in a few days on our next session. Again, we would like to thank our, one second. For those of you who would like to support us, please check out our Patreon. The details for that will be in the show notes. We would like to thank, one second, Jim Berrier as our existing patron. So thank you for supporting the channel and the game. Also in the show notes, we would like to let you know that Star Frontiers is alive and well with Frontier Explorer fanzine. You can check that out online. It's free to download. Pay what you want. You can order physical copies through drivethru.net. It's a great resource, wonderful source of inspiration. So definitely check that out. And we hope to see you for our next actual play. Thank you. Stay safe until next time.